Hi everyone, I'm Sherry, your AEC Tech Girl and Autodesk Expert Elite, and everyone is talking about the new Autodesk Assistant in Revit 2027, right? But I don't think that's the most important part of this release. The real game changer is the public MCP server. And if you're not paying attention to this yet, you should be. Because this is the piece that could allow you to connect tools like Claude and other AI platforms directly to your Revit models. Not just asking questions, but hopefully eventually being able to build workflows around your model. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up this MCP server to connect it to Claude, what you can actually do with it, and why I think this is the bigger picture. All right, let's start simple. What is MCP? Well, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. And the easiest way to think about this is that it's basically a bridge between Revit and other external AI tools like Claude. Up until now, or with this latest release with the Autodesk Assistant, AI is inside Revit, and that means it's like pretty contained. But MCP changes that because now you can connect external AI platforms, you can send model context out potentially, and then receive structured responses back. And this is where things start to get really interesting. All right, let me show you how to set this up. It's only a few steps. It's not that hard, but there are definitely a series of things you have to do. And I found that the Autodesk help documentation didn't really give me enough information. I had to do a little bit of digging. So I'm going to show you so you don't fall into the same mistakes that I did. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is download Claude for desktop. So you're going to go to claude.com/download and download the appropriate version, whether that's for Windows or Mac. You're just going to select download and download the Claude for desktop version, and then run the exe or run the installation to install it on your computer. I already have it installed, so I don't need to install it. But that's what you're going to have to do first and foremost before anything else. And that's really a really important step. Once you have your Claude for desktop installed, which I do, I'm going to open it up. You're going to run through the steps of logging in. And I want to make a note that I am on the free version. I'm not on a paid version, so you can do all of these automations on the free version, no problem. Once you have the Claude for desktop installed, you're going to want to go to autodesk.com, and I'm just going to log in and then go to products and services. And this is just how I get to it, but I'm sure there's other ways as well. I'm going to search for Revit. Then you're going to find Revit and go to view details. And here's the thing, you're going to want to go to extensions, not updates, but extensions. And then at the top, you'll see Revit 2027, MCP Server Tools, Technical Preview. Remember, this is a tech preview. And then you're simply going to hit download and install it. You're going to want to install the extension after you install Claude, because what the extension does is it configures the Claude JSON configuration file to add the Revit MCP server to it. So you don't have to do that. If you were to do it the other way around, you're going to have to set that up manually afterwards. So make sure Claude first, the extension for the MCP server second. And of course, this goes without saying, you have to have Revit 2027 installed prior to this as well. So once everything is installed, this is what one of the pitfalls that I ran into that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to restart Claude. Now, you might think that just pressing this X button to close Claude would restart it, but it doesn't. So what I do is come down to your task manager and that, and then just end the task for Claude. and that will restart it. So then we're going to open up Claude again. And now we're going to want to verify that the MCP server is connected. So we're going to go to our little icon here, and we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go to developer. And you want to make sure that you can see that the Revit MCP technical preview is listed here as a connected local MCP server. Once that is connected, you are good to go. Now you're going to want to open up Revit and open up the model before you can query anything. Now that I have Revit 2027 open, we can start using Claude to query and ask questions about the model. So the first thing you want to do when starting your chat is come to this plus sign and toggle on the Revit MCP technical preview. Make sure this is toggled on. If you're not using it, you can toggle it off. And this is what is going to connect it to the Open Revit project. So we can start off simple. So we can start with something simple, like asking it, what Revit project do I have open? Awesome. That is the basis. So now I know it's connected. Now I know I can read the project. Let's just query the model for a bit and see what information we can go. Okay, so I'm basically asking it to provide me information on all the families that are placed, if there's any families or types that we have that aren't actually being loaded in the project, and then if I have any duplicates that need to be cleaned up. Let's see what happens. And there we have it. As we can see, gave me that information. A total of 46 families, total types, 89 unused, and we have 6 duplicate groups. All right, so that's just a little bit of what it can do. And I'm not going to dive any deeper right now because I want to hear more from you guys about what you're using it for. And I want to be really clear here. This is not full automation yet. You know, this still needs a lot of setup. It requires good quality prompting, and it really is still evolving. Remember, it's still a tech preview. So if you go kind of into using this with the expectation that it's magic, you'll be disappointed. But if you go into this with the experimenting mindset, it's going to get really exciting. And this is the part that I care most about. The fact that this isn't a feature, this is infrastructure, right? It opens Revit to AI ecosystems, enables custom workflows, has the potential for firm-specific tools, and the ability to reduce repetitive tasks in the long term. So you're not just using AI anymore, you're integrating it into processes that really matter. So yeah, the Revit Assistant is pretty cool, although controversial, but MCP, that's the part that I'm watching closely. Now, if you're experimenting with this already, I'd love to hear what you're trying, what prompts you're using, and how you're integrating this. And if you want more content like this, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, stay empowered, stay inspired, and always challenge what is possible.